This project is classified as a Type 2 action in accordance with SECRA.
Mr. Tarbert? Morning.
Good morning. Hi, John Tarbert for the applicant, Lee and Vanessa Eastman, who are good friends of mine, and not such a great, they don't make decisions that easily. So they had originally had a garage that was going to be not in the front yard setback. And part of the reason for them not making decisions easily is that they, this is their home, so they have been very, very deliberate about how they wanted things, and moving the garage to where you approved it last time was a big part of that. It allowed just a nicer visual appearance when they pulled into the driveway and just for the overall property. So you did approve a garage in the front yard. It was 148 feet from Cove Hollow Road. And it was we submitted a landscaping plan to show that you wouldn't be able to see it from Cove Hollow Road. Again, it was 148 feet. So after doing all that, and the reason for me giving this whole preamble is that they decided that he wanted to keep his surfboards inside the garage and also some other things. So they redesigned the garage. So the garage went from 576 feet to 768 feet. And the reason for redesigning the garage was just to try to make sure that there were no surfboards or bicycles or other things floating around the property. The one benefit, if there is one, is that there was, if you look at the plans, there's a little bump out in the garage. The bump out got shifted around, so it actually went from 148 feet to 151 feet from the road, so we got a little further from the road. But the garage did get slightly bigger, and we're here today to ask for a modification of our approval to from what was approved last time to what the current design is.
Okay. Can I just go to Tom real quick and tell us what's going on currently at the property, just so we are educated here a little bit?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. Actually, a garage was permitted and has been built. It's there. But I guess the placement is not exactly what they were hoping for. It is very close to the house and probably not the most convenient. But however, it is there, and they're seeking to have it in the front yard.
Okay. Thank you.
I probably didn't do a very good explanation. We did get a variance the last time we were here to put it in the front yard, and that was conditioned on a landscaping plan. So there is an approval in place with a landscaping plan that blocks the garage, so you can't see it from Cove Hall Road. The reason why we're back is that after getting that approval, he wanted to change the design of it.
We didn't render it.
Oh, I apologize. Okay.
Yeah. So the one, if I may, the one that was constructed was pursuant to a building permit that has already been issued, and that's.
So let me just, I'm sorry,
Yeah,
if I can just,
please.
because I don't understand. So there's an existing garage that is built pursuant to a building permit.
Correct. There's a new home, an accessory dwelling, and a garage.
And so,
they are
and
constructed.
what's the permission being sought?
At this time?
And so the existing as-built condition was permitted and approved? Code compliant.
Correct.
And the change that's being sought, recognizing that it's different from what was originally applied for, the new version of the approval is for what and how different from what is
Well,
otherwise?
it's very similar. The one that's there is going to be either moved or partially disassembled and become part of this proposed garage that is slightly in the.
And this is a garage, and this is a garage in the front yard.
Right, in the front-
That's what's not permitted, but this is a really funky piece of property.
No, I understand. I visited the property. I'm just trying to make sure I
Well, it should
understand
have.
the
I mean,
nature.
realistically,
Because we got a lot of different versions that have been coming across, and I just want to make sure.
if I may approach.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, this.
That was the original one.
Yeah,
right there.
there is currently, and it should be on here actually, a garage.
Right.
So that, and it's not.
So just for the record, let's identify what document we're looking at.
December 4th, 2023.
survey.
received the document, however, it's the Saskis survey
Right.
last dated.
November 20th, 2023.
So, there currently, there's sets of garage right here.
Was that there? From the old?
No,
That was brand new?
no.
Okay.
Yeah, there was a house on this property a long time ago, and it was torn down years and years ago. So it was vacant land before we started building the new house, and I apologize. We did have a hearing on it. I think the board was generally receptive at our last hearing, but no written determination was ever made. So I mistakenly said that it had been approved. Instead, we had a hearing that I thought went okay. And before you did the written determination, that's when he said he wanted to redesign the garage. And again, it's for a front yard variance. And the point of not putting garages in front yards is not necessarily for properties like this where they're super long and you can maintain a 150-foot separation between the garage and the street. So for all intents and purposes, anybody driving up and down Cove Hollow Road would never see the garage.
And just to be clear, this is conforming in terms of everything else other than location.
Correct. It just needs a front yard variance.
Any other board members?
I don't have a problem with this.
No? Okay, motion to close the hearing.
Make a motion?
Second, please. All in favor?
Aye.
Sorry for confusing that.
Okay. All right, Gabby, moving on to the next.
Yes. Application of Jane Z. Foreman and Edward N. Wolf, Suffolk County, tax map number 3017416, for a wetlands permit and variances in accordance with Chapter 278 zoning and Chapter 163 freshwater wetlands to legalize accessory improvements and landscaping. Variances of 34.6 feet and 10.3 feet are requested from Section 278 3A 5A to legalize a playset and a trampoline located 40.4 feet and 64.7 feet from a front yard lot line where the required front yard setback is 75 feet. A freshwater wetlands permit and variances from Section 278 3A8 in the amount of 114 feet, 80.2 feet, 65.8 feet, 75.2 feet, and 85.3 feet are requested to legalize a fence located 36 feet from wetlands, a playset located 69.8 feet from wetlands, a trampoline located 84.2 feet from wetlands, an outdoor shower located 74.8 feet from wetlands, and an AC condenser unit located 64.7 feet from wetlands, where the required wetland setback is 150 feet. A freshwater wetlands permit and variance from Section 278 3A8 is requested to legalize landscaping within 125 feet of a wetland. The subject property is 96,179 square feet in size and is located at 122 Georgia Close Road. The property is located in Residence District R160 and this project is classified as a Type 2 action in accordance with SECRA.
Morning.
Good morning. My name is Jackie Morley from Toomey Latham, Shea, Kelly, Duman, Cordero. I'm here on behalf of the applicants Jane Foreman and Edward Wolf on 122 Georgia Close Road. As indicated, this is for the legalization of a series of minor improvements that were made to the property without the benefit of a permit, including recreational structures for the client's grandchildren and some native plantings at the rear of the lawn there. Just to start out, as identified in the denial letter, which was included as Exhibit D in your packets, we did submit an application to DEC for a permit in the fall. Haven't heard anything back yet. As you can see, this property is uniquely situated and constrained as a corner lot. You can see it's bound twice by Georgia Close Road and then again by Georgia Road at the rear. There is a 50-foot wide restricted buffer at the very rear of the property, and there are flagged wetlands in the middle of that rear yard. Because of this and the design of the property, we end up being in kind of constrained by both the front yard setbacks on Georgia Close Road and then on from our wetland setbacks as well. Just to clarify too, I know there are a long list of items listed on the denial letter. We are no longer proposing a stone patio in front of the pool house, and the height of the deer fence has been lowered.
And
And I believe, I apologize.
Where was the, can you just point out on the survey where?
So, and I went to the property myself this morning too, so I believe that there's a deer fence at the south of, that on this survey shows on the very south of the, I guess it's actually the western border of the property. That fence has been removed, and then the wire fence has been lowered in the back. And then separate.
You have a remains of an old wire fence down towards the pond, right?
Right, there's a wire fence, like directly behind the pool house, that I believe that is what,
That was yeah.
that's what we're cited for. So, but it's no longer too high,
So no longer 8 feet.
8 feet, yeah. So that's one off. And then this playset and trampoline, the trampoline's actually built in, you can see from the pictures we provided too. And the playset is also, I believe, like tamped down as well. Just going through everything, the plantings that were provided, and which you see on that planting plan we submitted, are all native species. There's inkberry, bayberry, and sweet pepper bush, which are all listed as alternatives, natives and alternative invasive species. And especially the bayberry was part of the planting plan that was approved in 2016 for the previous zoning board decision from the previous owners. Our clients purchased in 2019, but that previous decision was for this pool house in the rear, which had been constructed in 1989. At the time in 2016, the previous owners applied to essentially renovate it and bring it up to better standard. And part of that approval was that there be no shower in the structure. In order to keep it usable, our clients put the AC condenser on the outside, which also comes in with that additional variance request. Just to speak briefly to the criteria, the surrounding properties have similar improvements to these, although we acknowledge that we're coming out of turn. Obviously, these are all to be legalized. I do believe that they are, and we maintain that they are all generally minor improvements. Because of the constraints of the property, primarily the entire back of the lawn would require any improvement. Any structure there would require variances from either the front yard or the wetlands. Other properties in the area have also received variances for structures and improvements that are much closer to their wetland. As you know, this is kind of at the head of I believe the headwaters to the pond, and these properties to the west are have even more wetlands on their properties as well. And again, we acknowledge, although this is self-created, we do believe that because of the constraints of this particular property and how it is located on this three-corner area, that we do not believe these are substantial to request. And again, acknowledge that because we went out of turn, we are here to legalize.
Okay, thank you. Any board members?
What's the irrigation system that's in here? Is there are restrictions and constraints in the wetland setback area, right, in terms of the nature of the irrigation and the lawn? Are there? I just want to confirm that. Billy, can you speak to that? Yeah.
Sure. Thanks, Jackie.
Good morning, board members. Billy Hayjack for the Village of East Hampton. So the limits of landscaping or clearing at this property haven't changed. This project doesn't alter what was previously approved as limits of like lawn or landscaping area. The prior approval required revegetation. I inspected this property prior to this application being heard, and they've maintained their revegetated areas, and to the best of my knowledge, they have irrigation within the area that's lawn. But I didn't notice irrigation outside of that. If any irrigation is required for the additional plantings that are proposed to be installed, that should be made a condition that it be a temporary system above ground for a period of 2 growing seasons and then removed after that.
And so is there in-ground, I guess the question is, has there been any incremental in-ground irrigation in the setback area
I didn't-
subsequent to initial approvals?
I didn't notice any.
Just
I didn't dig up the soil or anything, but I didn't notice any. And to me, it looks as though it's pretty natural. the
Is
yard.
there, and this is a question, I guess, to Billy, to you, and Tom, to the extent, is there any, in terms of play equipment and the like, in terms of runoff and treated chemicals and the, is there any issue here? Because obviously, one of the reasons, important reasons for the setback has to do with runoff into the
The play equipment, I wouldn't foresee an impact. Nor the AC unit. The outdoor shower, I would recommend that, a dry well be installed beneath the shower to capture runoff that's generated by the shower. That's one detail. I don't know if there is a dry well beneath it, but if there's not, there should be.
Is there a bathroom in the pool house, is there?
There is.
And what's the,
There's a septic system for the pool house. I have some familiarity I'm familiar with this property. In a prior life, I represented the prior owner for a septic upgrade here for the pool house.
so it's been upgraded?
It's been upgraded, yeah.
It's been upgraded.
With a permit from the health department. And that permit, that was like 2014 or 13. That legalized some of the landscaping that had occurred here.
I just have a quick question. Billy, just to elaborate on Joe's question, the trampoline, is there some sort of structure, plastic or something? I haven't seen it, so what's below that?
It's an in-ground trampoline. I don't know what's below it, but I would imagine they have some system to prevent the dirt from falling in on itself. But I wouldn't envision it causing any impact on the wetland. I think if they ever eliminate the trampoline, it was in an area that was already lawn. So if they ever eliminate the trampoline or take it away, I would imagine they would just put some lawn back in that area.
Cool. Okay. Thank you.
Sure.
So you've heard Billy's comments. I think the shower is going to need a dry well. And I think do we need some kind of plan from them how they're going to do the temporary irrigation? Do they need to be written in the determination? Okay.
I just want to say, just for the record on the board, I have a concern about the trampoline just because it could have been placed in a different location. It was knowing the play equipment is a temporary structure that can be moved. The trampoline is an in-ground structure that was knowingly put into the wetland setback, and I'm not. I don't think we should approve it. And there are other places that trampolines can be put, and I don't know how we say yes to this one in a setback area that's knowingly imposed, where there are lots of actions by this board already, and then turn around and say no in other cases. So I have a concern about the trampoline. The other things strike me within the context of what Billy and Tom have said as okay.
Jimmy?
Do we know when was the trampoline installed? Do we know? How long has it been there?
I believe it's been there since at least 2021, so it's been there some time.
A couple of years.
Well, I would recommend we move the trampoline,
Okay.
keep the place set. Let's get the outside shower with a dry well in it, and let's get the verbiage for the temporary irrigation for the planning into the determination. We all,
I would agree with that,
Would you allow us to leave record open for?
We'll leave the record open
Okay,
until you-
because I
yeah.
can talk to them.
Yes.
They're away right now, so that'd be great.
Absolutely.
right.
Okay, thank you so much.
Application of Brenda Wei Ming Chang, Suffolk County Tax Map Number 3014 9426 for area variances from Chapter 278 zoning to construct accessory improvements and exceed the allowable coverage. A 94 square foot variance is requested from Section 278 3A 9A to permit 2,276 square feet of coverage where the maximum permitted coverage is 2,182 square feet. And a 13.9 foot variance is requested from Section 278 3A to construct a window well 11.1 feet from a front yard lot line where the required front yard setback is 25 feet. The subject property is 8,410 square feet in area and is located at 111 Panago Road in Resident District R20. This project is classified as a Type 2 action in accordance with SECRA.
Good morning. Okay, can we just swear you in?
Sure. Do I have to?
Yes, please raise your right hand and state your name and address for the record.
Brenda Chang, 111 Pentago Road, East Hampton, New York.
Thank you. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I
Thank
do.
you.
Good morning.
Morning. So.
Nervous?
I didn't realize I had to
Don't be
show
nervous.
up. I didn't realize until last night. So, I guess I should introduce the project to my house. I had obtained a permit in January of last year to do a house lift.
We watched it.
Yeah. Yeah, so we did a house lift, and that entailed, the reason for it is because basically the foundation was not the best, and it was crumbling. It's a very old house, and I really wanted to shore up the foundation. And along with that, we ended up, roughing out a basement, essentially. And so I needed extra lot coverage so that we could build basement stairs, egress stairs going down. So in order to do that, we took away the deck. And so that's the reason, and we're hoping to build back the deck to its original size. And then the other request was for a setback variance on the northwest corner of the house in order to build out a window well. And that setback, the front yard line would be along Frederica Lane.
Any members have any issues with this?
I don't see a problem with this. The area way is on Frederica Lane. There's a fence along that lane as well, so it's not going to be seen. And looking by the coverage calculation, the existing was 2,290, the proposed is 2,276, so there's a reduction, so I don't have a problem.
Thank you.
I agree.
Okay, Mr.
I agree as well, yeah.
Motion to close the hearing.
So moved.
Second?
Thank you so much.
Second.
That was.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Well done, Brenda.
Good job.
Debbie, please.
Application of Susan P. Furlow, Suffolk County Tax Map Number 301512, for an area variance from Chapter 278 zoning to construct a generator. A 30-foot variance is requested from Section 278 3A 5A to construct a generator 25 feet from a front yard lot line where the required front yard setback is 55 feet. The subject property is 66,995 square feet in an area and is located at 79 Hither Lane in Resident District R80. This project is classified as a Type 2 action in accordance with SECRA.
Morning.
Good morning.
Can we, Brian, please swear him in?
Oh, yes, yeah. Please raise your right hand and state your name and address for the record.
Ronnie Mannix, Amagansett, New York.
Thank you. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you.
I'm representing Mr. and Mrs. Furlord. They want to install a house generator, and we were looking at the location where to place this, and to meet the setbacks, we have to go in the back of the house, which would be difficult for one to get our service back there, but number two, I thought it would be closer to the neighbor's house, so for noise, I was, after looking at the property, requesting to see if we could place this generator in the front for 3 reasons. 1, for noise, be away from the neighbor. 2, also the access to the electric service. And then also in the front, where we'd like to put the generator, there's a planting bed there, and then we could screen the generator as well from the road. So I thought at the end of the day, that would be the ideal location.
And I believe the house to the left sits back pretty far. If you're
Yes.
looking off of Hither Lane.
Yeah, so if I put the generator in the back, I'll be basically in parallel with that house.
And in the back, you have the Townhouse East condominiums,
True.
the homes along there. Do you have a, Brian, do you have a screening plan, though?
No, I do not. No.
Okay. Any board members?
I don't have a question. I have a concern about putting generators in the front yard, or I think generators should comply with the setback requirements. They're noisy. They are a necessary evil in terms of the realities of the need to have backup generator systems, but I think there's no reason they can't comply with the terms of the zoning. So that's my, I don't see a compelling case. I understand why one might want to put them where they have proposed, or people will want to put them in locations as far away from their houses as possible, but the fact is that they run very rarely in terms of their test pattern, I think, and they're needed, hopefully, rarely in terms of power outages, but I think they're something that I see no reason for that they can't comply with the setback requirements. That's my take.
Andy?
I was just wondering if there was a reason why it wasn't closer to the house. Maybe you,
In the front, you
yeah.
say?
Yeah, if it was further away from
Well,
the lane.
because
So it's,
because right there, where we have it located there now, is where the service is, and that's where they have the screening in the front of the house now. It'd be basically be placed in the middle of the existing planting.
The electric meter's right here.
oh,
So say electric meter's right there. Is this going to be a natural gas
Yes.
generator?
No, actually, it'd be a diesel generator.
Going to be diesel generator?
I don't have a problem with this, seeing, I know it's 25 feet off the property line in the front. There's also another 25 feet before you even get to Hither Lane.
That's
so,
true.
You're 50 feet away from the road, 40 feet away from the neighbor's property, and the neighbor's house is even further away. I understand not wanting to have to now run electric from the meter all the way back to the backyard and back again to the house. And I think for servicing ease, it would be detrimental to put it in the back as well. So I don't have a problem with this.
Okay. I think we should leave this open, and we should get a screening plan from you and some kind of sound attenuation
that would be great.
mitigation from you for around the generator.
Do that?
I think we might be able to move this along if we all agree upon it. Okay, so maybe for the next
Yeah.
meeting?
Yeah, I
Okay.
could do that.
It's a great suggestion.
Thank you. Okay, so that is the end of the hearings. We're now going to go into executive session to discuss pending legal matters. Once the executive session is concluded, the board will close the meeting. Okay?
Is there a motion to go into?
So moved.
We have a motion to go into executive session?
Make a motion?
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Come on in, and then if they don't need you.
No votes.
Make sure Annie gets his vote.
Out of executive session, there are no votes or actions that we're taking during it. Do I need a motion to close the executive session, or we're good?
You can do a motion to close it here.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And a motion to close the meeting?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you all, and have a nice day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.